Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Ning Huang. I am a employment counselor at a nonprofit in Richmond, BC, Canada, but also a life coach in my spare time. And today I'd like to share some quick tips in terms of job search. Namely, focus on your strength instead of area of improvement. So what happens was a good friend of mine approached me a few days ago and asking for advice. What happens was she had an interest for a financial institution, and the HR manager approached her after looking at her resume and quite interested to going for the next step. However, just about 2 weeks passed, and my friend didn't hear back from the manager. Thus, she anxiously followed up with them and see what's going on. It turns out they're not as eagerly looking for people as they thought. But again, that's just what I heard. It could be many other reasons as well, but at this point, that's all the information she gathered. And the hiring manager proceed with, perhaps after 2 more weeks, or actually a month, around a month time, we're able to come up with a more detailed job description and all the rest of the steps needs to go through for screening. So her question to me was, oh, will you be able to help me to search for a customer service role so that I can train myself and be better at handling people, namely customers. And I was very surprised at first. I asked her, do you mind to go through what is your thinking process? What is the benefit of this? So she thought, even though she do have a really good background in economy and some education and training, and right now still going through a few courses, she still feel like she's not the most friendliest or outgoing, or let's say in terms of experience with dealing with customer. She feel like she could work on that just before the next interview happens, so that she have more confidence in going through that. And that's asking me if I could put her in a placement with a short-term or a quick customer service role. Okay, so first things first, I was really straightforward with her in terms of the current COVID situation and what is the demand right now for customer service positions. And overall, not looking as good. Not very good. So definitely not the best time to join customer service. And I also asked her, just imagine yourself as well. If you are the boss or the owner of let's say a small business or a corporation, would you rather hire someone who have already some experience with customer service or someone who don't? And then she said, well, probably someone who has it. And especially during this critical time, a lot of small to medium businesses have already closed down. And so not as many people are actually hiring for new staff. So first things first, that already is a barrier. So it's not going to be easy stuff for her to immediately find a position as a customer service associate. And then the second point is, I was asking, why do you feel like you need to go through and gain customer service experience? And so she told me, well, the job description seems like there are, I was thinking, usually financial institutions will definitely have to deal with, people and working with the public. So I actually don't have as much experience in regards to that. So I thought, well, why don't I improve myself within that 1 month of time? So I correct her by saying, well, it is 1 month of time if you indeed saw a really good posting and you indeed really impressed the hiring manager and the owner and they decided to hire you immediately. All of that takes time. So even if you start immediately, like say today you apply and then about a week later they call you in for an interview, you still need to go in for an interview, going through all the steps for the screening, and then finalize and sign your contract and paper and start working. And if you did everything absolutely wonderfully smoothly, it still takes about 2 weeks of time. So pretty much for her, even if she start right away, she only have about 2 weeks practice or to gain that customer service experience, which I don't think is all that useful. And it's a waste of energy, to be honest, because she have tons of other strength. And I was giving her this scenario, right? Imagine yourself is a hiring manager. So I asked her, what other roles is there for this particular institution? And when you're saying that you think they do have that kind of job requirements, is that how you really think, or is it actually posted on the job description? So she was kind of hum a hot and saying, well, I guess most part was what I thought, maybe that's what I need. So I said, well, you know what, I suggest you not to waste your time first. Before you investigate or put your effort and time further into something that's not even 100% accurate, why don't you really put yourself into the owner and the manager's role and see what they truly want. For instance, right, they're hiring for 3 roles. One is the bank teller, one is the customer service associate, and then one is the associate assistant. So I asked her, let's say in front of you, you have 3 candidates. You tell me, who would you like to hire for what role? So then I said, well, there's candidate A, who is absolutely outgoing, super friendly, approachable, and just, extrovert type of personality, lovely person, okay? Candidate B, who is a bit more on the detail-oriented, analytical, reliable, and really able to follow instructions well, to follow through tasks. Okay, so that's candidate B. And then candidate C, who is a person very creative, resourceful, able to tackle complaints or resolve issues and think outside the box and have some people skills. So now in front of you, if you have these 3 choices, who are you going to put to what role? And then she told me, well, okay, now that I think of it, I guess candidate A is outgoing, absolutely will be a good bank teller. I said, right on, you're absolutely correct. I would say so too, right? A person who's really easy to approach people and have some influential, can persuade other people, very confident. Absolutely, yeah. Now candidate B, who is a bit more on the, follow through with tasks, able to do repetitive things with no complaint and follow instructions well, reliable. Immediately, she pointed out that will be what my what my role should be, the associate assistant. I said, yes, absolutely, exactly. And now the 3rd person, candidate C, would be someone who's probably a customer service associate who can deal with complaints, solve issues, problems, and be very creative, and have people skills. Amazing. So now she placed all these 3 roles. She realized, yeah, I guess by core, I do have already what is required by assistant associate, this particular role. I said, exactly. You already have the core part, or else they wouldn't call you in for interview, right? It's just a matter of waiting, right? Sometimes corporations have a long waiting period, but you do need to realize, instead of really looking at, oh no, I'm not very good at this, why don't I work on this so that before the next interview, I'm going to be really good? Looking at what your strengths are and really leverage that, right? Not everyone has the unique characteristics you have. Sure, maybe you could be a little bit more outgoing, but at the same time, you might not be the same kind of person who is able to tolerate repetitive tasks, who is able to pay attention to details of the documents, and then to be able to help your manager or the whole branch staff to operate their work smoothly. So right after that, she was saying, well, I guess in a way, I am pretty good already. I said, yes, you are. You need to be more confident and really, really stop mingle all these extra things or put on your extra weight, extra pressure on yourself. Perhaps highlight those things that you already possess, or working on the things that you're already really good at. Right now, she's actually working on getting through another training course, which is much required for this role, and quite happy with her approach now. She said, well, I'm so glad you actually mentioned and highlight the fact that I need to focus on my strength and really to study the job descriptions instead of just thinking or imagine what kind of qualities they're looking for. I said, amazing. I'm so glad to be able to help. So I want to do the same and offer the similar kind of advice. If you ever wanted to get out there and do job search, don't really just imagine what would the role requirements be. I usually would encourage someone to do an informational interview, perhaps just talk to someone working in the field to get a really holistic and a real idea, right? If you already get called in for an interview, is to realize they saw a good potential in you. Okay? Don't get nervous, stressed out, or anxious about what you don't have. Put a spotlight on all those amazing qualities and characteristics you possess already. Okay, I hope that's helpful for you. And of course, not everyone going through the similar kind of job search process, but I thought perhaps many of you out there having similar scenarios or similar questions, concerns. Hopefully this can guide you a little bit in the right direction so you won't waste your time and energy on the, so to speak, wrong things. Okay, great. Well, again, my name is Ning. I'm glad to answer any of your potential other questions. Feel free to comment or subscribe my channel for more information. Thanks for watching. Bye now.